Man, I have to say, the viewership for this channel, it's really quite low. I guess I'm a pretty bad YouTuber. But anyway, welcome back to another episode of photography, I suppose. Let's face it, it's a lot more fun to talk about the cameras that you own and the lenses that you want to buy or that you've bought recently. For example, this lens right here. This is the Elcan 50f2 M mount, not made by Leica. I cannot afford the original Elcan lens. Well, this is instead made by our favorite light lens lab, also known as the China Cron. But specifically for this one, I will probably call it the China Can. Well, Light Lens Lab claim this lens renders exactly identical to the original Elcan. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. You see, this is the thing. A friend of mine, he has the original Elcan, and and the good thing is he's willing to lend it to me to do a comparison between the original versus this replica here. But the real question is, would I dare to bring the original Elcan out for a test drive? Most likely not. Nah. Okay, this is how I see street photography. First of all, you really have to relax your mind, because only when your mind is relaxed and calm, your body would follow. And so you become more aware of your surrounding. The zen of photography, I suppose. But if you're holding an original Elcan, yeah, I'll probably get all tensed up and won't be able to see anything. But this is the biggest reason why I enjoy using the Light Lens Lab, because well, the darn thing, it's fairly inexpensive. I could always get another one if I somehow damage it. Anyway, getting back to the lens. The lens does not come with the hood, nor does it come with a filter. So in other words, you have to get them separately, which is a very good way to make extra cash for the company. The lens that I've got, it's made of bare brass, very similar to the one you see here, which is a Summicron 35-2. The Summicron, it's more than 2 years old now. The lens barrel is slightly oxidized, and it looks nice. This is why I picked the brass version for the Elcan. But the thing is, when you put them together side by side, I noticed the Elcan has got this layer of coating. It is possible this coating might prevent the lens from being oxidized. Practically speaking, this might be a good thing. According to the Light Lens Lab, they said the oxidation may make the lens barrel less smooth. But so far, the Summicron is still working perfectly. Hey, but who knows? Maybe 20 years down the road. So at the meantime, I would say I am not too crazy about the new coating for this Elcan. Yeah, it looks too clean and it looks generic. The build quality for this Elcan, well, I have to say, it's premium. It's smooth, it's solid, yeah, it feels pretty darn good. I have been using the Light Lens Lab for quite some times now. This is the titanium version of the Summicron. If you guys been following our Instagram account, you know I take these guys out, rain or shine. And after much abuse, the titanium Summicron is still working perfectly. You may or may not like the rendering, or you may accuse the company for being a copycat, or lack of the innovation. I guess what I'm trying to say is we are all entitled to our opinions, and frankly, one way or the other, they are all valid. So in my experience and my really biased opinion, I like Light Lens Lab a lot. It definitely has quality into it. And yes, I do like the rendering. However, between the Summicron and the Elcan, I think I like the Summicron a lot better. Well, personally, I'm not too crazy about a static lens. For street photography, I think I like the 35 the best. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the original Elcan has the hood has a screw-in hood. However, for this replica, it's basically sharing the same hood with the Summicron. Well, frankly, not that it matters too much because, well, this is a brass lens. When you're out in the street, it stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah, so I don't think this is a good idea for military use. Or if you're into stealth mode photography, just don't get the brass. Get the regular black paint or whatever. Now, of all the 3 different colors, I prefer the titanium the best. Now what you see here is the prototype Elcan, again made by Light Lens Lab. And because this is a prototype, the overall feel is nothing compared to the finished product. I did make a video about this lens, including the photo samples taken by this lens. I'll put the link on the right top corner. I wasn't too crazy about this prototype. The overall image quality feels somewhat shallow. By comparison, this brass lens, it takes a lot better image quality. But maybe it's a placebo effect because this brass lens, it feels a lot better than the prototype. I mean, when you're holding the lens, the brass lens, it feels substantial. So out of curiosity, I weigh them. The prototype, it feels pretty darn light. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see this, but it says here 132 gram, 132 gram versus, again, apples to apples. I'm gonna strip naked, remove the filter. Yeah, it feels so much heavier with this brass thingy. 227 gram versus 132. Wow, it weighs almost double. Now that I have this thing here, I might as well weigh this titanium. Well, this is a 35 too, so it's not a apple to apple thingy, but again, just out of curiosity. 201 gram, 201 gram. This is the brass version of 35-2. Alright, these two guys, they are identical. For the titanium, it says 201. For the brass, 228. 201. So yeah, that's like 20 gram difference between these two. Well, so can I assume the brass version is the chunkiest of all? I got this. I've been waiting for this for almost close to a year. Don't know why it took me so long to get this lens, but anyway. Man, this guy stands out like a sore thumb. It looks pretty good, but I think I prefer the titanium better. I stopped down all the way to f4 for all these images, and the camera is M10 monochrome. Now I will be making a separate video with images taken by this lens only, so stay tuned guys. So at the meantime, I'm gonna call it a quit for this episode. Thank you for watching, and you guys have a great day. Bye.